just in response to some statements or some comments made earlier under statements regarding the governor's budget plan that was in the media recently and basically excoriated for waiting so long to present a plan. I would like to point out that the governor's budget plan was presented in its entirety back in February, and both chambers of the legislature have been working on various alternatives, and the governor has been presenting various alternatives to legislative leadership throughout the summer. So just because they were not featured in the media or in the local Lansing press does not mean that the governor or the administration has not presented budget alternatives that come to the balanced budget that we are constitutionally required to pass within the next several weeks. I would also like to point out that the budget that was passed out of this chamber by the majority was not totally in balance, so I would ask to be spared the pleas for balanced budget until there is actually a balanced budget put forward by the majority in this chamber. We are all charged with working toward that balanced budget, working together to find a solution that funds the priorities of the legislature and the people that sent us to this chamber. And I would just like to point out that some of the priorities that this caucus would like to focus on would be to fully fund our promise grants that we made to the students here in Michigan, rather than removing the money that was promised. Those were promise grants, not maybe we'll give you the money if we've got it grants. They were promise grants. The early childhood investments that have been stripped from the budget, it is our belief as a caucus that these need to be replaced. The youngest and most vulnerable among us need to be recognized by state government, and the programs that benefit them from one end of the state to the other should be funded rather than stripped from the budget. Our local governments that provide the police, fire protection, water, sewer, all of those services that our local governments have provided for our common constituency, we need to take a look at making sure that we're not stripping the money that they have come to rely on to fund the police and fire protection here in the state of Michigan. The economic development money that's been taken out of the budget, the public safety money that's been taken out of the budget. I think that all of these priorities that this caucus stands up for could receive some attention under some of the plans of the governor's revenue sources without going into each individual one. But I think that members should put aside their future political aspirations, drop the rhetoric. Let's get together. Let's work on a budget plan that meets all of our priorities, or at least gets us halfway down the road. And Mr. President, I would ask that my remarks be printed in the Journal.